qualities that make each individual so special, regardless of race, religion, or culture. Well, in the end, pride is about love for oneself and love for others. By teaching our children about diversity and acceptance, we empower them to be compassionate, empathic, and inclusive individuals. Together, let's celebrate the color of the rainbow and create a world where everyone is free to love and be their authentic selves. In our society, is a mosaic of differences in culture, skills, religion, skin color, styles, ethnicity, thinking, communication styles, language, educational levels, talents, and goals. Well, that is why we are called a rainbow nation. Well, our topic this evening is teaching our children to embrace diversity in our rainbow nation. Well, my guests are still in school. I'm teasing them because all came very professional. They followed I think, the mission and the vision of their school. They're all wearing their school uniform. We have Hana Habib Kazi, Favor, we have Malangaliso, we have Chuma and Kayleen. Welcome to School Matters.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gosh, you're looking so good.
Thank you.
So I hope you'll never pack y'all's uniform away and you'll have to dig it out today to,
We actually do.
Yeah. So you all come from Northlins Girls.
Yes.
Northlands Girls.
Yes.
Okay, whoa. I read some stuff in the paper because y'all were one of the first schools who have a learner who is not white, because Northland Girls is an ex-Model C, formerly a white school.
Yeah. Yes.
So all the head girls have always been white. Am I correct?
Yes.
Previously,
Yes.
Previously. Okay. So Hannah, tell us about your journey
as head girl.
as just making it and being there and being the first non-white head girl.
Honestly, I think at Northlands, my journey has been very it's been a smooth ride. I think our school is very inclusive, and there hasn't been any sort of racial division that any of us really have experienced. I think I'm speaking for all of us when I say that, because again, we're very just inclusive, and we accept each other's cultures, and there's no such thing as teachers or management prioritizing a certain race over the other. So everything's sort of just on the same level. So it's been a smooth journey, you could say.
Well, alhamdulillah. That's so good to hear. And I hope all our DO officials and circuit managers and district directors who are listening are basically just applauding themselves, because your school is part of KZN, so making us proud. Being a girl and being in an all-girls school, generally you hear stories of there's lots of, what can I say, cattishness, competitiveness, in every aspect. What would you say? Let's try to keep it real, be honest. Yeah.
Oh,
anyone?
Okay. So I think Northlands is one of the better schools in the sense that we don't really have a lot of bullying. There's not something I've noticed that is we don't have people who are jealous of other people or try to take people down. There isn't much of cattishness, and I think you guys can also agree. We're very chill like that. All of us, we're just
chilled.
We're one big family, you could say.
Okay, so you're all in grade 11.
Yes.
Okay.
One thing I want to add on to is that I feel like our sisterhood and the school spirit, it doesn't allow us to be catty. When we come to assemblies, we'll have war cries, and the school energy, it's too much to be
catty.
Yes, and angry at each other. So we don't have that type of environment in our school.
But it's so nice to hear this.
Sorry, I'd like to add as well, our school does a really good job of recognizing each student for their talents and skills. So as much as there's academic achievers, there's sports achievers, cultural achievers. So there's no cliques. So everyone can get along with each other and do well. So
as much as you girls will vouch for this, as much as technology and being modern, sometimes, unfortunately, we tend to still draw on the past and sometimes use that as our excuse for not progressing. Would you agree or disagree? in generally, like, when you're looking at other schools, at campus, like, people tend to draw on the past and use the race card or use the religion card or the cultural card. I mean, now you all come from a different aspect. You all are coming from a school which you're not exposed to this. What advice do you have for young learners who are doing this, especially like high school learners, university children, regardless of their race, but using that as their trump card to get their way?
I think it comes down to the whole idea behind us accepting our past and not using it as a weapon, but more so as a chance for us to grow. Because what I've noticed is that the reason why we're all here is because we've accepted our differences. We've been able to all collaborate. And instead of us pointing out the things that are different about us, we tend to focus on the similarities. Like all of us here on this panel as students, we have different backgrounds. We come from different cultures and hearts, like we're just different. But then there are things that we are able to just connect to as girls, as students. We are able to connect in some issues, and we use our differences to show each other that we're all human at the end of the day.
Yes,
Things like that.
So
So
important.
it's more so accepting the past and not necessarily using it as a weapon, but more so making sure that with our past, the way we carry on in life doesn't bring us back to a place where we were all ostracized and separated. And things
Sitting
like that.
right here in the chair and watching you and coming from an education background and involved in all of this, you guys are future leaders and you all can be the change in our country. You all can make such a difference, because if you think about it, our young adults are not truly guided by good leaders, young leaders, and you guys can make a difference. I believe that each one of you have a special badge or some honorary thing. Can each one of you tell me
Okay.
at your
This
school?
side. Let's start from this side.
Okay, we'll start with you.
So a badge or like
Yeah,
an
you can tell us your
achievement?
name, your achievements. You can tell us your name
is
for the listeners out there.
Okay, so my name is Favor Eziakulu. Recently, I've been appointed as deputy head girl for senior school, and the achievements, there's quite a lot. Okay, so for example, the Toastmasters final, I came second for evaluation. To brag, our school placed in every category, which is one of my greatest pride. What else? Actually, that too. Yeah, I have achieved the honors blazer for academics. Only God, honestly, only God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, which is 85% and above.
Wow.
Average.
Wow, that's amazing.
I'm gay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so my name is Kuma, and recently, like Favor, I attained the honors blazer. I got knighted for having an aggregate above 85%, which is something very huge in our school. Recently, I've been appointed as the captain of the public speaking team at school. I'm part of the first debating team and the first softball team. And yeah, I think that's about it.
That's about it. There's
Yeah.
so many things you can't think. Hannah, you're wearing a white blazer.
Yes.
I saw a video going on social media where wearing this blazer, the crowd, the learners, the girls were going wild. I thought there was a pop star, something going on. Can you tell us what's the whole idea with the
Okay,
white blazer?
So the white blazer, I think the girls were really going wild about it. The reason is because like it hasn't been awarded for more than 25 years, and basically what the white blazer is, it's actually called the Knight's Honor.
Okay.
And that means basically achieving my honors in 2 fields. So the first field, I achieved honors at the end of last year for getting an aggregate of 85% above. So that was my academic honors. And then this year I was appointed as head girl. So that means I got my honors in leadership. So because I have honors in 2 fields, then I got the white blazer. And like, again, it hasn't been awarded for a really long time. So like, I think that's why there was a lot of hype and yeah.
And
around
you,
it.
one of the first non-white learners.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're just being so humble. So that's like amazing. Whoa, like,
Mhm.
So I think that explains why all the learners were like in awe,
Mm.
screaming, shouting, singing.
Definitely.
That must have been a really
Overwhelming
experience.
moment. Yes. it
Can we
was.
pinch you, all of us? Yeah, so it must have been, your parents must have been really, really proud.
Definitely.
And you know what? You belong to the Islamic faith. And generally, I'm talking also about myself. People tend to think like, oh, you're passive, you're quiet, you're real makoti if you're married, and all of that there. But you defied all of that there.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I think so, yes,
Yes.
definitely. And there was also this whole stigma. I think at school I was seen very much as a nerd.
Okay.
Actually, I see myself as that too. So by becoming head girl, it just kind of like defying my own stereotypes of myself, which is like quiet and like, shy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was pretty cool.
Do you know, listening to you all talking about so much of positivity and, like there's a silver lining in the cloud in your school. This is an example. This can be like a pilot for all other schools, because generally as an educator, or people in management or people who are involved in work and education, the journey is not easy. It's very easy to put stuff on paper, policies and stuff, but to really have learners or educators go through with it, it's impossible. I mean, we read in the paper of incidents and cases where for racial slurs, we read about where our country is like really down when it comes to maths and science, and sometimes it's like, oh, here we go, it's South Africa again. Oh, here we go, it's KZN. So something which is so important, and you touched on respecting
Yes.
everyone.
Yes.
So how do you do that in your school with the educators, the management, the support staff, the cleaners, the learners? How does it work? Respect, when it comes to respect.
I think in general, the reason why our learners have so much respect for one another is because Northlands is one of the more diverse schools that I've been to. And that just taught us all about empathy and understanding other people. So even when it comes to our caretakers at school, I'll greet them the same way I'd greet a teacher. And whether or not I've got the A students next to me or a failing student, it taught me that everyone has a different background, but we're here right now. And if we don't work together, we won't have that sisterhood that our school is known for.
Yes, and just to add on, our school really focuses on sisterhood, like building a sisterhood and making each other feel comfortable and like fostering a home away from home. And that's where also the aspect of respect comes into.
Okay, you girls are actually going to be in grade 12 next year.
Yes.
I won't say next year. I'll just say like maybe a couple of weeks ago, a couple of weeks from now. You all have been through so much. I mean, from how many years? 12 years?
Almost, yeah.
Or with preschool, or with grade R, maybe
Yeah, 12
13,
years,
14, if you did grade double R. Yeah. And so, what advice you all have for especially the female girl, the female child? Because generally, when you are a female, regardless of your race or religion or culture, expectations are quite high. Even though you want to pursue a career, you want to pursue your studies, but you still have to, get married. You still have to have children. And when we all said it, no, we don't want to do that. But then again, the motherly instinct sets in. So what advice you have for classmates or just children from other schools who, matriculate and don't pursue their studies or just don't bother?
Oh, I'll take this one. My biggest advice is to just never underestimate yourself. I think as a woman, like sometimes society can kind of pressure us into choosing, like either we want to be homemakers and moms and wives, or we want to be career women. But I feel like as women, we are extraordinary. Like you can do anything, you can do everything if that's what you want to do. So never allow yourself to be limited in your choices. Like
what's the saying?
Yeah.
What team, the Zulu saying?
What's in the password?
Oh,
yes. Which means you strike a woman, you strike a rock. So just never underestimate your own greatness. Like you can do everything if that's what you want.
Well, when you think about it, if you're going back to religion, like all of us belong to the Abrahamic faith, women played such a vital role to ensure that, all the prophets, peace be upon them, prospered. They got the message across. A woman took care of children, took care of meals. You were like the pillar of the strength just being a woman. And we need to instill that into our young girls, because in today's time where, I was mentioning to you all off air about where I did a seminar on self-love, where you look at where the female child is self-sabotaging themselves, where getting involved in blesses, getting involved in, this teenage pregnancy, there's drugs. When I mean drugs, I'm talking about everything, alcohol, which is now the norm. If you cannot have fun, you cannot be having fun, or you cannot be out there without partaking in that, So you all got y'all's heads on screwed the right way. So it's quite, there's peer pressure. So grade 11, it's holidays now, right? So people are meeting friends, families, going out. I'm not saying, but temptation is there. So what advice you have for just the learner out there, especially the female learner?
Okay, the biggest piece of advice is just to stick to your morals, because as you said, we all belong to the
Abrahamic,
faith, and with us being Christian, it's like within the Christian faith, we have certain values that we're taught. So the most important thing is to stick to your morals, whether you get them from your family, whether you get them from the holy book you're reading.
Yeah.
It's like those things are the things that take you back and they lead you away from temptation. And it's to surround yourself with people who have the same morals as you.
Do you know, you all are breaths of fresh air. I'm just looking at my tech, because normally when we do shows, it's always, we're always complaining. There's doom and gloom, and we're losing the youth, and the youth is not involved. There's no empathy. And you guys just crop up with like, there's hope. There is hope. There is hope. But again, being a female, it's not easy. It's not easy. Even though we say, equal rights, whatever. But when you look at our home situations, extended families, you'll always have that, no, you're a girl, don't do this, or you're a girl, do this here, or, and then if you tend to challenge, then it's more culture, would I say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then you're showing disrespect.
Yes.
Showing disrespect in that way. Inclusivity is so important. Why would you all say that it's so important? Inclusivity. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So for me, I think inclusivity is important because it creates a space for you to be yourself. Inclusivity allows, to foster different ideas. And I believe a difference in ideas, a difference in views, it creates a different perspective in how we can solve problems, how we can see the world, and in turn move forward, especially from, as we know, in different parts of the world, there are horrible pasts. We need to move forward from that. And as you said before, people like to latch onto that, and we need to let go. So inclusivity, we're bringing forth different voices, and with different voices, different stories. And yes.
I also think inclusivity, it helps with having an optimistic approach on life, on society in general. So yeah, that's just what I'm saying.
Do you know, lots of us don't understand the next culture. Forget religion, I'm talking about the next culture, whether you're an Indian, whether you're a colored, whether you're a white or Chinese or a traditional Zulu girl. We don't understand the culture, and sometimes we tend to frown or look down on it. We stereotype. So how important it is, we as South Africans, we talk about the Rainbow Nation, how important it is for us. I know we do PSW, where we learn about the different religions, but how important it is for us to understand each other. Yeah.
Something that I always have lived by is you don't need to understand something to respect it. So as much as I don't understand every person's religion or culture, that doesn't block me from respecting them. And I think that's where most people fall short, because most people don't even understand themselves. So you'll never fully understand something you haven't grown up with.
Okay, we'll be taking a short ad break.
Radio. Visit our showroom for the full range of car audio. Our TV department carries top brands with quality LED panels, full HD to Ultra HD, and now the experience of Super Ultra HD. Visit our theater rooms and transform your home with brands like Onkyo, Integra, Denon, Boston Acoustics, Yamaha, and more for quality audio visual experience. Now available, full range of home appliances. A one-stop shopping experience. Call 031 306 4029 or Kenilworth Park, 202 Brickfield Road, Overport. Simplex Radio, the name you can trust. This segment is brought to you by Kenfield Auto, your RMI approved service and repair specialist. 236 Brickfield Road, Overport. Kenfield Auto.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. ربنا وسعت كل شيء رحمة وعلما فاغفر للذين تابوا واتبعوا سبيلك وقهم عذاب الجحيم.
Car won't start.
Kenfield Auto.
Noisy brakes.
Kenfield Auto.
Due for a service.
Kenfield Auto. Kenfield Auto, the answer to all your car problems. Your service and repair specialist for your VW, Audi, Suzuki, Toyota, or just about any vehicle. Kenfield Auto, your RMI and insurance approved workshop to handle them all. 236 Brickfield Road, Overport. Call us on 031 207 2399. Kenfield Auto.
The chaos and destruction of the Gaza Strip is beyond comprehension. Virtually everyone is displaced, hungry, and in urgent need of life-saving humanitarian support. The Al-Imdad Foundation has been working tirelessly to address the health, nutrition, and water needs of the population. Our hospital, water deliveries, and hot meal programs are made possible with your support. Your donation, big or small, is a lifeline for those in dire need. Help Gaza survive. Donate online at alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
This dua to replace anxiety with peace is brought to you by Continental Butcher Baker Deli. Quality, freshness, and value. Our promise to you since 1992.
اللهم إني عبدك ابن عبدك ابن أمتك ناصيتي بيدك ماض في حكمك عدل في قضاؤك أسألك بكل اسم هو لك سميت به نفسك أو أنزلته في كتابك أو علمته أحدا من خلقك أو استأثرت به في علم الغيب عندك أن تجعل القرآن ربيع قلبي ونور صدري وجلاء حزني وذهاب همي.
If you're looking for a delicious selection of freshly made baked goods, decadent deli treats, and succulent meats, there's no need to chop around anymore. Continental Butcher Baker Deli offers an award-winning service, presenting exceptional quality at competitive prices. Superb choice grade lamb, beef, and chicken. Mouth-watering homemade processed meats and gourmet marinades, and scrumptious baked goodies. Quality, freshness, and a money-back guarantee. Visit Continental in Argyle Road.
Continental Sausage Circus, now featuring 80 different types of sausages. Hurry before there's not a sausage.
You are listening to School Matters with Sumaya Khan.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to School Matters. Yes, we have a positive vibe in the studio. Our topic this evening is teaching our children to embrace diversity in our rainbow nation. Yes, this is so important, parent and learner who's listening right now. Well, we have girls over here who are chatting away. Could you introduce yourself and your accolades?
Okay, my name is Mangaliso Sbia. As far as my accolades go, I have full colors for both academics, that means 80% and up for my aggregate. And then for debating as well, I am the current captain for our school's debating team. And then all of us here are prefects. And then I am the head of the home pillar in our prefect body. Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Hlulani Kayleen Malumbete, and I recently got awarded my honors for 85% and above in your year aggregates. And I'm the cultural head, the head of the cultural portfolio in our school.
Wow. You know, you're already there in the making. I think I'm a unionist and a full-time education activist. I know in the next some protest or some government meeting, I'm definitely going to see you girls there. Please make sure you wave. Please make sure you wave over there. And you won't believe it, Zach. I went for Naledi Pando's stuff at DUT. I had this guy waving. I said, is he fluking me or something? He says, Miss Khan. You taught me in grade 7. And now I think for COSAS, he's one of the regional secretaries. And I felt so proud because, you know, like, you want to make a change. You know, I think as an educator, you get excited because you see your learners just moving up. A very, very sensitive topic, a topic which is on everyone's lips, tongue. Some are keeping quiet. Some of us are very, very upset, but the country's going ahead with it. LGBTQ.
Yes.
Y'all's views and opinions coming from girls.
I'll go first. As far as LGBTQ goes, I see it a lot in our high school amongst our peers. I think a lot of people are searching for a label or a stamp or something that will describe them because they don't really know who they are.
Yes.
So people are looking for all of these pronouns and all of these things because they want to identify with something because they're looking for themselves in a way. So it's a bit sad to see that so many young people feel that lost, that they are kind of grasping at anything to feel like they're a part of something, if that makes sense.
Yep. Anyone else on LGBTQ?
There's sort of this double standard with LGBTQ. Like, if we go against them, there's so much hatred and backlash. But then if they go against, like, or say bad comments against maybe Christianity or Islamic views on LGBTQ, there's this double standard. They hate us for our views on them, but then we come to them with like love. And to add on to what Mangaliso is saying, with this idea that they are lost. They don't want to hear that, which is unfortunate in this day and age where we need identity, especially with things flying at us from every which corner.
Social media.
Yes.
I mean, every young person, I'll say even including us, but especially the teenagers and the young adults, you'll see them, whether it's a mall, whether it's a restaurant, whether they with their families, phone in the hand. You know, sometimes you think load shedding is a blessing. Load shedding is a blessing. Yeah. So what could you say about social media and the influences?
I think with the issue of social media, the biggest thing we're facing as teenagers is the lack of moderation. Like, social media is, I can confidently say, is the root problems to most of the things teenagers are dealing with. From the lack of moderation, from teenagers growing too quickly, from teenagers not understanding themselves, peer pressure, like all of this comes from social media. So the fact that it's so unmoderated and social media allows for everything these days, it really is detrimental to us as teenagers because now we're exposed to all these different types of poisonous information that doesn't necessarily help with us or cultivating us as humans. It just leads to us not necessarily knowing ourselves more because now everybody wants to be an influencer. Everybody wants to be this. It's like social media doesn't allow us to flourish properly.
Can I just say something? Like, in contrast to that, I think sometimes, to an extent, social media can be used in very positive ways. Like to influence, like, you know how you have positive peer pressure? I feel like social media can do the same thing for a lot of positive things. Like, for me personally, I get some of my motivation to study from like study TikTok, if that makes sense. So like social media, yes, it can be used in very positive ways and to like uplift yourself, uplift other people, etc., etc. However, going back to what she said, it needs to be used in moderation and needs to like they should be like a line to social media, and I feel like currently that line is being crossed by a lot of people, and that's what
Do you know,
needs to be
I
stopped.
don't feel I'm talking to grade 11 learners here, Zach. I feel I'm talking to counselors and therapists and, you know, like really, let me talk in small English, big people I'm talking to. No, but that's so true what you're saying. And I wish the youth who's listening right now, the learners out there, you know, it's like you kind of making them think, because your whole life revolves around social media. But if you put the phone away, can you communicate with the neighbor? Can you communicate with the man down the road, the shopkeeper? People don't even greet. It's like killing away, as you say, empathy. It's killing away morals and values. What would you guys say about that?
That is very much true.
Very much.
With social media, it sort of like ruins the whole element of respect, because with social media comes the expectation of I have to be accepted. Like whatever I decide is going to be the way because of the world we live in now. But because of that, what ends up happening is that we lose touch with the things that happen outside social media. So like our familial connections, the people in our communities, the people at our schools, which is like the main, like it leads to us losing the whole element of respect and everything.
Yeah, I think my main piece of advice going out to the youth would be, remember that your social media is a representation of who you are, and everyone has access to that.
Digital footprints.
Digital footprints. Whenever I see stories of cyberbullying or people posting terrible stuff like smoking, etc., it's as if you're putting it on a billboard.
But they think it's cool.
It's really not.
It's
really nuts.
I was gonna add to what Kuma was saying by mentioning that because of social media, it's become so easy to hide that, like, as young people, sometimes you can say the most outlandish things or outrageous things, and you never really have to face the consequences, because if I comment that on someone's video, they can't find me, they can't do anything to me. And I think that also makes us not as able, we're not self-aware, and we're also not really able to talk to people in real life now, because now if I'm looking at Hannah and I say something to her, I have to face the consequences of what I say. I have to see her reaction. So I think as young people, we're not as good as interacting in person now, because we've become so used to hiding behind our phones.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Hannah, you are MSA. Can you tell us about that and the impact it had?
Okay, so I'm MSA captain. If you don't know what MSA is, it's Muslim Students Association. We also have the SCA and the HSA, which is Students Christian Association and Hindu Students Association. Basically, I think that having these religious clubs within our school, especially for me, the MSA, it genuinely has a lot of impact, because coming from a person who was like in a majority Christian school to now having my own little club or my own little clique where I can, you know, relate to other people, and like, you know, all of our Islamic holidays and our special months and special dates and stuff like that, to have that and to have that community or like little environment where you can feel safe and feel heard by other people, I think is very special to me. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's so important. You know, you're going to grade 12 in a couple of weeks. How's the stress levels?
Through the roof.
Through the roof. So I'm definitely going to interview you in 2026 January, because every year I call learners. So if you got my details from Hannah or from anyone else, please, I want to know where you're heading. Okay. So tell me, planning has started. They say normally in grade 11 that starts.
Yes.
Planning for
grade.
Yeah. Knowing you guys, y'all must be did this like the minute y'all entered high school. Yeah. Future plans of you know, obviously, I mean, with that mindset and the sacrifices, you'll definitely pass matrics and get all those A's. Where do you see yourself in what profession, or what do you want to study? Maybe each one of you could quickly tell me that.
You can start. Okay, let's start from Katie.
Okay.
That is such an interesting question, a very hard question. But I, in the future, I see myself as an entrepreneur, having something for myself. But most of all, my main goal is to be happy in life. So whatever happens, as long as I'm happy.
Okay.
Yes. I probably sound very lame just repeating what Kayleen said, but it's definitely the goal to study something along the lines of business and like find my own way in whatever industry I decide. But I definitely want to be the boss of my day. I want to be in charge. So yes, that's the goal.
Okay.
I want to be a woman in STEM, that's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. But I think I'm mainly going to focus on engineering. I just don't know like which faculty yet. But yeah.
Okay.
So For me, I talk a lot, so I'm planning on going into something that has to do with law or like diplomacy, because I really want to help people in the way I can. And I feel like by ensuring that our structure in terms of the law is solid, we can do a lot more good than it is doing now.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm very confused. I really love mathematics, but I also really love to perform. So it's either a director or a biomedical engineer. I only said that because it sounds fancy.
No, but you know what? End of the day, it's where's the moolah, where's the money?
Yes.
You know, that's the main thing. I think, you know, we had shows where what is success? Everyone defines success different. Happiness, a degree, having a roof over your head. So the definition of success is different, but it is so important, as you mentioned, to be content and just whole, you know, happy. And in today's times, that's like a rare commodity, you know, just being advice for your classmates, advice to the grade 12 learner of 2025.
Stay true to yourself. That's it.
Stay true to yourself.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
For me, I feel find your moral compass. Find what you want to believe in. For me, I am me and God. 2025, it's me and God like this. Because you need a higher power to lead you, because we humans, we are not perfect.
Yes.
Ooh, we are whoa.
No.
So yeah.
Yeah.
For 2025, it's more so to go at your own pace. Individuality is key. A lot of the times you're going to want to follow the study methods or the ways of the people that you think are perfect. But also you must understand that you are your own individual. You have your limitations. You're good at certain things and you're not good at certain things. But just focus on what you're good at, what you can achieve, and be your own self, as Hannah said, to thine own self be true.
Yes.
Okay.
For advice, I think as much as matric is not the end all and be all of our lives, it also has the capacity to set us up for something really amazing. So also keep that in mind as you're going through school. Like, set yourself up for a life that you think is deserving of you. Like, set yourself up for greatness, adopt good habits, make good friends. Like, the sky's the limit.
Yes. My advice would be, don't only set a goal for yourself, set a goal with a plan, and have your plan be specific. As someone who achieved their academic goals this year, please know your percentages, set a goal for yourself, and you'll be able to do it.
I think that motivation, but you know, this one of you guys mentioned this in the beginning of the show. It's positivity which rubs onto each other, peer positivity. One of you guys mentioned that.
Peer pressure.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what you'll have. Now we need this. We need to take this into the other schools. We need to expose other learners to this, because right now learners feel, especially in the government sector, I mean, hardcore government sector, they want to show the colleague that we're bright, we're studying, because you look like a wuss if you studying, like you don't want to look clever. So that's the mindset, but they don't know what disservice they're doing to them to themselves. So we need to take this. So a quick one, what advice do you have for a child who is in a toxic environment, trying to study, whether it's at home, whether it's at school, whether it's with the classmates, just something to keep them, to survive, to get out of that water to survive?
Don't let your circumstances define who you'll become, because as much as there's so much going on in your life around you, what you do now makes or breaks who you will be. So as hard as it'll be, and the sacrifice will feel like the heaviest load you've ever carried, if you stick to yourself and you stick to your own goals with your plan that you've set, then you'll be able to become everything you want and need to be. So stick to yourself.
Do you know, do you guys do counseling at school? Are they counselors?
Yes.
Wow. That's a privilege. So just say you have a classmate who has been, since it's a GBV, gender-based violence, just look at an example, maybe domestic violence. She's coming to school with a blue eye or some blue mark. What advice would you have for her?
I'd say speak out about it. As much as that's way easier said than done. I think like actively taking a step to get yourself help is gonna do you more good than harm. And I think like that's for me, that's the only way I think you can help your situation in any way possible. So like, yeah, with us, I mean, we have counselors, and I feel like you can make a private booking with a counselor and just talk to them. And if not a counselor, then a teacher or someone you trust, just to talk to them. I feel like that'll help a lot.
Okay. A quick one, the last question. Teenage pregnancy is on the high, regardless again of where you come from. Advice to our girls out there, especially high school girls. And now it's holidays. We're on a baby boom 9 months from now. Yeah.
For the girls now, it's more so to just know your worth. A lot of the times, the girls our age go out and they do all these adult stuff because they get pressure from the outside world. But just live your childhood, like have a nice childhood. You don't have to grow up so fast.
Yes.
There's time for everything. So it's more so to just stay yourself, keep yourself safe, and to understand that you're still a child. Make sure that you live your childhood to the fullest, because most adults say that once they're an adult, they wish they could go back.
True, we all say
So
that.
don't waste it on things that you know that you still have time to do. So yeah.
I just wanted to add something. Childbirth is very painful. It is extremely,
And if you
extremely
have a
painful.
Caesar, gosh, I'll vouch for that.
My goodness. You don't know how healthy you are until you're in that room. Mhm. And men, the boys that you have this baby with, they can run away. It's you, your family, and that baby. Please think clearly, think carefully. Thank you.
Well, you know what? To all our girls in studio, I just like to thank you on a non-school day in your holidays to come all looking snazzy in your uniform and, imparting your knowledge and just chatting. Looking forward to have you guys, our Northland girls, back in studio. I told you how we took a pledge. So 2020, end of 2025 or the beginning of 2026, January, after you have written matric exams, listeners, we're going to see whether it materializes. So thank you once again. Right, I'd like to thank our tech Zach for making the show possible. My email address is sumeyakhan.alansar@outlook.com. We may have different languages, different color, skin, but we all belong to one human race. The beauty of diversity is that no two people are the same, yet everyone is worthy of respect and acceptance. We must learn to live together as brothers and sisters or perish together as fools. The real dawah to Islam is the character of a Muslim. Assalamu alaikum.
Masi sondele Pilano tolo helele